And welcome back to another edition of Thompson's Comic Corner. I am the host, Zach, and I'm on my own this time. I have no co host, but I do have two wonderful guests. Have you ever watched Power Rangers? Any variation? You ever watched from, 1994 all the way up until 2025? I have. Have you read the books? Have you watched the movies? I have, and so have my guests. And, spoiler alert, they're writing one of the new books. They are writing they are writing Power Rangers Unlimited. I almost messed up the name, I'm sorry. And I want to introduce Kenny and Joey, the two writers of Power Rangers Unlimited. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing
Great.
great.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. Like I was actually really nervous. So like sometimes when I reach out to creators and it takes forever for an email to come back, I'm like, man, they don't like me. I'm like,
Just
man, I
know that
tried.
even as a creator, when you're sending emails, usually your first instinct is like, oh man, they don't like me. So I
They're
get it.
mad.
Yeah.
You did, at 5 minutes later, like, are you mad at me?
It's just like
Well,
constant reassurance. So needy. So I totally understand. And thank you for your patience in our response, but we're glad to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm really like happy to have you guys because like growing up, like Power Rangers was huge in my childhood. Like I was 4 years old, 5 years old when Turbo came out, and my grandma
mhm.
took me there, and I kicked her in the leg doing my karate in the movie theater. I'll never forget that. So Power Rangers is near and dear to my heart.
I love it.
So you guys are writing a brand new series. There's three series coming out, and one comes out in June. Your guys' comes out July 1st, and then another one in August. Tell everybody a little bit about like the story, like what's going on.
Sure. I'll go first. So yeah, the three books they're launching are Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, classic title, Power Rangers Unlimited, which is ours, and Power Rangers Green. Power Rangers Unlimited is about the Striking Tiger Ranger, who is revealed in the comics giveaway day to be an older trainee, as she creates this new group called Power Rangers Unlimited, where essentially they are a complete force of every Ranger ever pulled through time and space and sent on really exciting and crazy genre bashing missions as they try to fight someone who is manipulating and creating time paradoxes to sow chaos. So we get to see team ups with Rangers who've never teamed up before and crazy combinations, as well as really different genres we've never seen them in before. The first issue that comes out in July is heavily inspired by The Raid, so it's a big martial arts epic. Issue two's already been solicited. That's a straight up horror story, like a horror slasher with Power Rangers in it. We're gonna have like a heist, some Mad Max type stuff. It's really fun, and through it all, we're gonna have a really emotional and heart-wrenching story that our older Trini is gonna go on as we learn more about her situation and her relationship with the operator, who's the one who's helping her bring all this together and to bring all the elements from the Morphin Grid. So it's a big fun sort of thing that when they asked us to do it, it was like a dream come true for both of us because I'm sure we'll both get into it. But grew up watching the show from episode one, from Day of the Dumpster when it premiered on Fox Kids. Been absolutely in love with it ever since. And so when they asked, it was a dream come true to be able to like essentially take everything we've loved about it and take it in the direction that we've always wanted to take it.
That was such a good answer. Like that was just perfect. And
I
then
do
like
my best.
and like that. So you guys grew up. I assume we were all like around the same age. So you guys
Mhm.
grew up watching the show. Who
Oh
was your
yeah.
favorite Rangers?
Yeah. So, Mighty Morphin came out when I was in third grade. I think I'm a little bit older, but that came out in third grade. My favorite from the third grade was also when I got glasses, which I still wear to this day. So immediately Billy was my favorite. And that's always been the case. Like even as I've watched 30 years since, just that original Blue Ranger is really my all-time fave. But yeah, this is definitely something that we grew up with, and it's like we talk about this a lot because for us, growing up in a world where Power Rangers didn't exist, and then all of a sudden it did, it was like an atom bomb went off. It was night and day. There was like life before Power Rangers and life after Power Rangers. We put away all of our Ninja Turtle stuff and took out all of our Power Ranger stuff. Actually, that's not true. We just made them find each other. Um, but yeah, so this is like hugely influential on I think both of us. I mean, for me personally, like this has been definitely a bucket list item. Similar to your background there, I have a bunch of Power Rangers stuff in my office here. So it's just really been a blast to like dig into this franchise that's meant so much to us for all this time and push it in interesting new directions, and play with characters who maybe haven't had a whole lot of time in the comics thus far, and really utilizing this massive world that's been created by the Power Rangers universe. It's been awesome.
And I
So
would just throw in, though, my favorite isn't from the original Mighty Morphin series, just because I've seen just about all of it. My favorite is Eric from Time Force, the Quantum Ranger, is my favorite character. So that's just thrown in my 2 cents. It's not necessarily everyone's favorite pick, but it's mine. It's like how everyone says every Pokemon is somebody's favorite, every Ranger is somebody's favorite too.
True. I think that's what makes it so awesome. Like truly
Hmm.
there's something for everyone, and there's all types of different characters with all types of different backgrounds, all types of careers outside of just being a ranger, all types of situations that they're put in. It's so all encompassing in so many ways that you wouldn't expect for like a children's TV show, and I think being able to utilize that in the comics and expand on it has been really fun.
so you guys have all these Rangers you can pick from. Were there any like specific ones that you were like, nah, I've got to be in the book today? Page one, book one, he's got to be in, she's got to be in. Was there any?
So it is really tough to not play favorites, and we've been kind of trying to not do that. And initially, we wanted it. We're just like, oh, put this person, this person. Then we realized like there's a lot of the same colors going on in some of these issues, and a lot of doubling up. So we kind of gave ourselves like a fun storytelling limit of like we come up with the mission and the overall story first. Then we decide who would be the coolest to send on that mission. Like one, if we were in charge, who are we picking? Two, what would be the craziest like character interactions or mixes of powers? So that's kind of how we approached it. We always do try to work in our favorites and stuff when we can. Um, I sadly have not gotten to work Eric into anything yet.
Yet.
Yet. But because it's just like I just want. What if he just shows up? He's just like I'm here too. At one point, when a page turn. But yeah, we give ourselves that limit as well as some other fun storytelling limits, so that like we're not just playing favorites. We're doing really cool interactive stuff. We're always like, what's best in service of the story for who to be teamed up with at this moment, or who to send on the mission of like who would be a challenge to, who would really excel, like who would be surprise best friends, who would be surprise frenemies, like sort of thing based on the different seasons. So that's kind of how we've approached it so far.
Okay. And you have any Rangers you want, Joey? Is there anybody that has to be in there?
I mean, I think that there's a villain actually that I really wanted to put in that we worked into issue 3 in a really fun way. And so I think I don't want to spoil that, but I do think that we've been able to take the pieces that we were hoping to play with and find an organic, intentional way to work them in to the story. Even as far as like striking Tiger goes, like Trini is a longtime fave. I felt that she has always been sort of like the backbone of the team. So being able to use her and elevate her into a position of like not just leadership, but and mentorship for like the entire Rangers organization has been really fun. Um, but someone that I do really love that I think we're gonna make it work is Magna Defender. I
Oh
think
yeah,
is
Magnum Defender's great.
I think it's like so much opportunity both versions of him, like the original version and the Mike version. I think are really interesting, but I don't know, like you watch those Magna Defenders episodes before the transition happens, and it's like it's pretty intense. It's pretty dark. He had a pretty
Mm.
bleak existence before we met him. And so like utilizing that, and my instinct is to like make that like a noir kind of adventure with him or something. But like that's what I like about working on this book is like taking these characters, thinking about their interior lives, and then finding ways to genreify that, and I think we've been pretty successful in what we've done so far. No ego, but I'm very proud of it. And so hopefully we see more of that down the line.
So it's like taking all the toys in the toy box, man, and just playing with them and smashing them together, essentially.
Yes.
And
Literally, that was our pitch.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's what
In
we
the
said.
room, that's what Joey said.
That's perfect. Now, when you guys did they approach you for this project, or did you guys come up with this idea together and approach Boom Studios?
Half and half. So Joey had done, and I'll let you talk about it in a second, Joe. I'm not going to talk about your book.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I swear I'll let you talk. Joey did. Joey had done a Power Rangers story with them called Zord Quest, and then I was supposed to be doing a different one that didn't come together. There was going to be an event that they were going to do that I was brought in because they knew that I was a fan of the series. I'd been pitching stories to them for like since the comics started at Boom. There's one that I always wanted to do that we're gonna get to do. We're writing it right now, so I'm super stoked about that. I pitched it to them for years, like just let me do this one story. This is all I want to do. So I'm really excited about that. But they basically came to us each separately and were like, "Hey, we're gonna relaunch these three books. Would you like to do Power Rangers Unlimited?" Our only tagline is we want it to feel like Justice League Unlimited, where it's like an infinite giant roster, and that's all they had. All the other stuff, Joey and I like talked on the phone for the first time, like had never met, had never talked together. We're assigned as co-writers on this book, like instantly gelled, completely wanted to see the same sort of things in the book and the concept, and we came up with how it worked, how what the big character arcs are going to be. So really, it was just that premise. And then Joe, if you want to talk about the book that you did, and then leading into that as well, that'd be great.
Sure. So I had done it was last year they did a few one shots or anthologies throughout the year, and I did a 40-page one shot called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Zord Quest. That was my first opportunity to work on Power Rangers, which again, like that, if that had been all I got to do, I would have been satisfied. That was, taking the original team and building up some of the Zord lore a little bit, which was really fun for me with the artist Gavin Smith, who is now drawing Skeletor over at Dark Horse and is going to crush it. But yeah, then after that, similarly, I was, the editor brought this idea to me about a potential tie-in to like this event they were going to do that didn't pan out, but then brought me Power Rangers Unlimited, said thinking about pairing you with Kenny Porter, who's also a huge fan. And then, like Kenny said, we just started talking about it and just went from there. And it was really organic and really, I hate to say easy, but like in terms of like our dynamic, it was really easy. I said this on another podcast recently, but I don't think I've told you this, Kenny, but it felt like when you're a kid and you're on a playground and you meet someone else who likes the thing that you like, and you're just like, okay, well, I guess we're friends now. And it
Hmm.
was like that childhood simplicity, except we were working together on a Power Rangers book, which was really fun.
If people just want to picture us on a playground sitting in a sandbox with all the toys, being like, okay, and then this happens like that, and
Yeah,
then like waddle
truly.
in a Megazord next to somebody. That's basically what it's like.
That's awesome. It's a blast.
Mhm.
So I actually picked up your Zord Quest book.
Sick.
I
Thank you.
picked it up. There's a comic swap in Pittsburgh, and it's in this hotel, and there's like probably like 50 different comic book vendors. It's the coolest thing in the world. I had never been there before. And I saw the
Sweet.
book, and I was like, this cover is sick. And then I read the story, and I'm like, all right, that's actually what made me want to invite you to the show.
Oh,
So
thanks, man.
because I was like, man, I'm a big Power Ranger nerd. I love it. So, and like, getting the opportunity to talk to you guys about something that I grew up loving, and like I said, I was 3 years old doing the karate kicks, and I had the costumes, and I have all the books behind me. The people listening
Yeah.
can't see it, but they're there and they're cool. And I have your book, and I should have put it out, but I don't know where it's at in the drawer.
Okay.
So,
Hopefully it's like well read and crumpled with like a bunch of dog ears and stuff. It's all the best I can hope for.
I will
yeah,
say a lot of stuff you introduced in that book we brought over into Unlimited, which is
That's
awesome.
true.
Like the little bots and everything. Like we
ooh,
brought those over. So they work at Unlimited. at least a version of them do. I don't know. We might see some more stuff from Zord.
Yeah, I think I think one of the fun things about like a creator, this is in any situation, whether it's Marvel, DC, or something else, like when a creator comes on and like really, I don't want to say makes it their own because they are not our own. We're like borrowing them
Mhm.
for a little bit. But I think adding your own spin or your own layers of lore or character or whatever is super fun. And part of the appeal of doing a project like this, right, is to be additive to the things that you love. And definitely wanted to do what I could in Zord Quest, but then getting the opportunity to do Unlimited, where the whole concept is essentially pushing things forward and introducing new ideas. I was grateful that Kenny was on board for picking some of the seeds that I put in Zord Quest to continue playing with here. And you'll definitely see that pay off as the story goes on.
Now, whose was it your guys' idea to put Trini as the main character? Or did you have anybody else in mind, or was that just your guys' straight first idea?
I actually don't remember if we talked about anybody else.
I think it
That
was
seemed
always her.
that seemed like the most, like, in the best way, the most obvious choice.
Hmm.
Especially when you read issue one and you learn sort of her background and where she's coming from. It felt like the most um, meaty person to have in such a role where she's in a totally new environment, um, not out of her depth, but definitely like in a new role in probably the most challenging point of her life. So she's like really diving into work. And I think any of us who've gone through something, who put our focus and energy into something to distract us, can relate to this. And in her case, it's leading this unlimited team. But I do think that as the series goes on, we'll see the ramifications of like the emotional stuff that she's pushing away in terms of work, sort of coming back and impacting her as a character, but also, the Unlimited organization as a whole.
Okay. Yeah, you can see because all right, so when this comes out, issue one will have already came out. So
Okay.
um
Okay.
yeah, so when you read issue one, I can definitely see like the baggage that she is carrying, like, through the story. And then at the end, when you do find out like a little bit of her backstory, I can completely see where she's coming from and like why she's diving so deep in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's actually a really compelling start to the story. And I do got
Thank
to
you.
say though that all right, so I had sent it in the email today. My favorite part is the fact that you guys got the little bird creatures from the movie.
Oh, the
Like Ivan,
Tengas?
yes, listen, Ivan Ooze had those goofy birds, and I will never forget that. Like that literally just like gave me a spark when I read that. Like when I saw it right off, like first page.
I'm so glad.
You're gonna love this book because Joey and I love putting in those like, well, nobody's ever brought this back sort of moments.
Yeah, it was
I
awesome for me seeing
Yeah.
that.
There's
That's
another type
awesome.
of foot soldier that I added to, I don't remember which issue of it is ours, that I don't think anybody's referenced or seen in probably 20 to 25 years of the show. That's even more obscure than the Tengas, that I was very proud that we got to put them in. So like all that stuff, none of it's just to do it just to be like, member like that. It's always just like, wouldn't this be the coolest, raddest thing to show up right now? And that's what it was for that issue when the Tengas show up, was they're just like, oh man, it would suck for those to show up right right now.
Yeah, and like it,
Bother.
and in that picture, like the way like the artist drew that like part, man, like the putties are like cool, like weird
Oh yeah.
contorting. Oh man, I love it.
Alessio
Yeah.
Zano is so good, and so is Federico Ceresa. They're trading off every issue.
Okay.
They both have their own distinct styles, but they're in kind of like the same family of art. I believe they share a studio together, so they're always in close proximity. So they're working, since every issue is connected, but is kind of like its own one shot. It's like they trade off and like they get to do their own things with the stories. They've both gotten to design a bunch of crazy new stuff we've introduced because as much as we've done classic stuff, we're introducing a ton of new stuff, like
Mhm.
starting with the Striking Tiger Unlimited Ranger. It's no secret because the cover's out and it was all over the internet that in issue 2 we have a white Psycho Ranger.
Yeah, which that
So
design is pretty sick.
yeah,
It's
right.
super
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. So we're introducing new stuff just as much as we're calling back to the classic things. But Alessio and Federico, their art is incredible. Every time we get pages back, we're like, I didn't even think it could look like this. It looks so great.
Yeah.
And Raul's colors and Ed Shire's letters, like the whole team is so great. Sometimes I feel bad for Ed because we're always like, hey, special, unique type of lettering or caption for this, by the way.
Hey, could you
And he
just like
always
make a
does.
font real quick?
Yeah, could you just make one up? Because this guy needs his own font. And Ed's like, yeah, sure. And I will nail it the first time and you won't have any notes for how it looks.
That's awesome. So yeah, like let's talk about the Striking Tiger's character design. I actually really like this suit. And it looks like she has like shoulder pads. Is that
Hmm.
right? Like, yeah, those
Mm,
why did they never have those before?
I don't know. That's a great question. But
It just
now we do, and we need some entrepreneurial custom toy customizer to make
yeah.
something and put it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the Power Rangers. I'm telling you, give it like a year, 2 years, you guys are gonna have that on your desk right behind you. I'm telling you. It'll happen.
I'm hoping so. That, a helmet, the whole shebang.
I will say for like nostalgic reasons, like I have the free comics book issue in front of me, and on that splash page, the 2-page splash page, you guys literally probably have I'm gonna say 65 different Rangers, and they're very distinct. And like right now, I'm like super excited. You guys got it like tucked right off into the left hand side. We got the red Turbo Ranger. So I mean that's one of my favorites. Again, I love that movie. People hated that movie and that TV show, and it don't get enough love.
Well, I'm happy to tell you that TJ, the Red Turbo Ranger slash Blue Space Ranger, will be playing a pretty big part later on as we
Yes.
continue. So,
Yes. You just made my heart really happy.
oh man, you made my heart happy. You know, so today was a rough day, and I'm glad to be here talking about Power Rangers.
Yeah. Getting people. We're just sitting, like, we're having a great time sitting doing it. But when we hear other people get excited about what we're doing, that's the best.
Yeah,
So now this is probably a really dumb question, but I
no
have to
such thing.
ask it. Did you watch a lot of Power Rangers leading up to this? Like to get some ideas or to refresh your memory of like some of the characters
Hmm.
or like
Absolutely. Yeah.
and now they have like 30 seasons and so many different variations. So like where you're just like, all right, fast forward real quick. Oh, I like that one.
So what I've been doing is basically since I got Zord Quest, which was probably like a year ago at this point. I've it's just slowly been like rewatching everything from the beginning. And in that rewatch, currently I'm up to Time Force. But you know, when we're working on, for example, writing a Wild Force character, like I will go to that series and like watch some episodes just to refresh my memory on like their character dynamics and you know personalities and plot lines that are happening at certain points and stuff like that. So it's definitely like I am doing like a massive rewatch, and then inside of that, I'm watching particular episodes as we're writing certain issues that will be helpful in writing those.
Hmm.
As for me, I am just cursed with remembering. Uh, so I will go and watch when we do issues and different Rangers show up. I will go and watch recaps and clips and stuff. But I sadly, my nerd brain remembers that stuff more than actual facts. So I just remember we'll be on the phone trying to figure something out. And I'll be like, oh, what if we pull in this thing? And I don't even look it up. I'm just like, what if we pull in this from this series and do
Like
this?
a one-off appearance of some random thing. And it's
Yes.
like, oh yeah, that happened in like episode 14.
Yes, in this one. So yeah, so I just tend to remember. I have watched, if there's anything I was fuzzy on, I have gone back and watched stuff. But similar to Joey, I will go watch clips of the characters to remember how they talked specifically so that everybody when you're writing like five new characters every issue, you got to make sure that they sound the way at least that they did in the show.
Yeah.
Um, at least close to it. Some of them like might be older than when we last checked in with them, so their personality might be a little bit different. They might be in a different place in their lives. But that's helped a lot. And then thank God for Ranger Wiki for us doing references for the artists. If we were able to pull that, just be like, link, like, this is what this crazy gun looks like that we've only
Yeah.
ever seen once, but now it's coming back.
That's all. That's see, it's cool to like peek behind the curtain and like find out like like how you guys process everything. Because you
Yeah.
guys did throw a Ranger in issue one that was I completely forgot about was the Red Alien Ranger. Like
Mhm.
that
Oh,
was a
yeah.
throwback for me. I remember when
Oh
that was
yeah.
on TV.
Yeah.
So yeah, God,
Yeah. So that's
I'm
a perfect example of like, because that was, especially when you were a kid and there was like this brief little like Alien Ranger thing that felt like a new thing, but it was part of the old thing, and you're just like, what is happening? And like it imprinted on me so much. So we want to use every corner of the universe that we possibly can in
Mhm.
ways that are exciting and unexpected. And to the point of the Alien Ranger, that's also partially why we set the Unlimited HQ on Aquitar, where that Alien Ranger is from. It's an established planet in the Power Rangers universe, but far enough away from like the things happening on Earth that the two, the Mighty Morphin book and our book could interact, but aren't like on top of each other.
Yeah.
So I'm
Um,
glad that you picked up on that.
yeah. Oh man, I told you I'm a nerd when it comes to the Power Rangers. So you even have now, like it's on like a little screen. Now we don't know who the big bad is. That has not been established yet. It's just,
Okay.
smoke and mirrors at this moment. But I do find it really cool though. I remember reading this. There's a picture like on a little screen of the Robo Rita. I
Hmm.
remember reading that. So like the fact that you guys have that memory in this, that's
Hmm.
so like it's so cool because you can literally do anything that you want in this universe. The world is yours.
yeah. And with the setup, we really can set like missions can happen in the future, can happen in the past, can happen in the present, because of the technology. Like I think I said off air beforehand, like we're being very like Doctor Who with it, of like time and space wibbly wobbly stuff, as well as like the structure of the issues where a Doctor Who episode will have like the freak of the week sort of story, but then also have the B plot, the emotional thing that's going on the whole season till it comes to a crescendo at the end. And we really have plotted this, like we treat it like it's a TV show. Like, not that we don't love the medium of comics and we play that up to it, but in the planning of it, we pretty much treat it like a two-person writer's room, and we have a whole spreadsheet of every single issue and who's in it and what happens and what the A story is, the B story. We have the second year planned out. We accidentally came up with a third year on the phone several weeks ago. So as long as we will support the book, we will keep going. Like we will happily sit here and toil in the right, and it's not even toiling. We will happily work like little Christmas elves in the in the writer's room on this book until the end of time.
It does feel like being like it doesn't. What am I trying to say? It's obviously it's work,
Yeah.
but it doesn't ever feel like, oh man, I gotta get cracking on this thing. It's always like the thing I'm excited to work on, or like feels like a reprieve from everything else
Hmm.
to be able to just like really get in the weeds on Power Rangers and Power Rangers lore and characters and stuff. It's just so much fun. It's such a blast.
So, are you guys able to create any new Rangers or like what is your, how do I put this? Are they letting you guys have free reign or is there certain things you can't do? Because I know it's a licensed product. So,
Sure.
how does that work? Has there been anything that you guys came up with and they were like, "No."
So far, no.
Oh, good.
There
Let's
have
keep it
been
that
there have
way.
been things that were like, they're definitely not going to let us do this, and they're just like, sounds good. um,
Yeah, it's the notes have been very minimal. If it was anything, it was just change one or two minor visual things on something. But in terms of like the story points or creating stuff, like Striking Tiger, they were completely behind. They were
Mhm.
like, go for it. Psycho White Ranger, they were like, absolutely. We create new bad guys in it. We're probably gonna, like, if we have room, like we've talked about adding like some other new stuff. And there's been no pushback. Like, I think one of the benefits of ours is because it's it's so wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, like we can do whatever we want and pull from any era. We have that freedom to make stuff up or to use stuff that doesn't get used a lot. So far, yeah, we've pretty much just been giving them ideas for new action figures every couple of issues, which I'm fine with if they end up on the shelf. So I'm
Same.
absolutely cool with that.
That's really that. See, that is really neat because as a licensed product, like I always feel like the TV show was such a pain in the ass. They had so many pushbacks, and like they're just letting you guys have fun, and it shows in the two books that we've got. Because like I said, we've read issue one and the free comic book. It's just it looks like you guys are having fun, and it reflects back into
Thanks.
the work,
Thanks, man.
and it makes it a joy to you know what I mean. Like as a consumer here, like that's cool to like I want to go pick that up off the shelf, and like the covers were badass too. So
Totally.
That helps.
yeah.
Covers
Yeah,
help.
we've been talking about how it's like Power Rangers without a budget, basically. Like it doesn't have the budget constraints or the rules of the TV show. So I think I interrupted you, Joey.
No, you didn't, but don't let it happen again. Um,
Yes, sir.
just kidding. Somebody will listen to this, like
People, yeah,
I think they're having
there's gonna be
problems.
a Reddit thread started that's like a secret. They actually hate each other or something, which I may or may not comically feed into if that shows up.
That's
Uh,
fun.
oh, I did have a point to make, and now my own need to fulfill the bit has ruined it. Um,
Commit to the bit.
yeah, I lost it. I'm sorry, I lost the thread. What was your prompt?
Oh
Oh,
hell, I
just
forget now.
it was that we could do whatever we wanted, basically, and then I
Right.
talked about the budget.
Yes. Yep. I got nothing. Sorry, I lost it.
What do you
Now,
think of it?
I had to make
Interrupt
a
me.
joke, and I paid the price.
now I want to give you guys an idea. I want a character in one of the issues. I want that goofy, the skull guy. He was all skeleton with the army hat. You know what I'm
Rito
talking about? From
Rivolto,
yes,
Rita's brother, who does not have the
yes.
same last name for some reason. Yeah, I mean, never say never. I love Rito Rivolto, but mostly because do you guys ever see the movie House?
Yeah,
Not the Japanese one, but the 1986.
yeah.
No,
And
I'm
there's like,
terrible.
oh, it's excellent. You should watch it. But there's like a character in that who looks like Rito Rivolto because it's like all about this Vietnam vet confronting like his PTSD. And there's like a character from his Vietnam days who's like essentially a skeleton, but still in his army getup, and that
Mm.
always makes me think of Rito Rivolto.
Also, just as a mention from a writing standpoint, the sequel to that movie has the best joke title ever, which is House 2, The Second Story. Uh,
Don't worry, I have the box
Genius.
set.
Yeah, I figured you would, but yeah, like fantastic. Couldn't write anything like I should just give up as a writer because no one's ever gonna write a better title than that.
I agree. The House series, fantastic. Highly recommend.
I might have to watch it. See, I'm terrible. All right, so this is confession time. Many listeners have heard this. I've never watched Star Wars except this year. I watched the first film, Episode 4. Right, that's
Oh,
the first time I
crazy.
ever watched it.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
I've also never really watched any of the MCU movies.
Oh,
So like,
crazy.
yeah, like I read the books, but
Mm.
Yeah,
I don't have 3 hours to sit there and watch a
yeah,
movie.
I
that's
feel you.
awesome. I don't know. I feel like that means you just have like a lot of cool shit ahead of you when you have time.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's like
I've went back and I've watched a couple of the movies. So I mean, we're getting there slowly but
sweet.
steadily.
You know what? Comics are more important, so I respect it.
So all right, last couple questions, and then I'll let you guys off the hook, off the grid. You know what I mean? Had to get that in there. I couldn't help
Uh-huh.
it. If you had to, here's my next question: is Zordon in this at all?
Mm,
No.
no.
Okay. He will not be in this. Just had to ask. Had to throw it out there.
I don't know if we can say he won't be in it, but currently he is not in it.
Okay.
Not in ours.
That's all I
Yeah.
needed to know.
Mhm.
Now, is he? Now, see, you guys have Boom has this other series going on, Mighty Morphin, and I know that you guys will cross paths eventually. It's just the original five, correct? Like, there's the original when they're kids, so like it's a different time frame.
Mighty Marguerite's Mighty Morphin book is the original team, but in their like mid 20s. So
Okay,
in that world, they've since disbanded and like established like
Mhm.
careers and are now like being called back into duty
okay.
for reasons to be revealed.
Yep.
So it's
And
sorry, go ahead, Kenny.
no, I interrupted. You go.
We talked about this. Just
Damn it.
just kidding, just
Um,
kidding. No,
we need like a
that was
light.
actually that was all I had to say.
Oh, I was gonna say that, and then ours, the unlimited base in time and space, is in that same era as Marguerite's book. They're just on Aquitar,
Okay,
so they're together but separate, like
okay,
separated by space. So they're unlimited is housed on the planet Aquitar, which is where the Alien Rangers come from.
okay.
Yep.
So go buy both books.
Yeah.
Buy both
I'll
books.
buy all
Go buy
three.
Green. Go buy Power
Yeah.
Ranger Green.
Get them all.
I
No,
think
your
what's
guys
awesome
is
about this slate is that they're all very, very different,
Hmm.
both in terms of like tone and story and artwork. Um, so it's really, kind of a pick your poison or enjoy all three in different ways, and I think that's really exciting to have like really distinct lanes for each book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned the art. Yeah, all three books are very different. The Mighty Morphin's like more like cartoony, which I love. Your guys'
Mhm.
is more. Your guys' book is more. How do I put this? It's like
Incredible.
the what is it?
Incredible is the word that you were looking for.
Yeah, it's got
Stunning.
like the darker colors, but like it's still so bright and you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
It's like very kinetic, it's very action heavy, it's very bombastic, I would say.
Yes,
Mm.
Yeah,
yes,
and Alessio and Federico are just so good. And not only like the action, but also even like the little moments, in Power Rangers comics, usually a lot of the emotion comes from a peek through the visor and you see like an eye expression of some kind. And even that, like those moments, they just crush every time. It's like the exact right emotion, their exact right moment. Yeah, it's a gorgeous book.
which you do get to see a couple eyes in the visor, issue
Yeah,
one.
You gotta do
absolutely.
it. You
Yeah,
gotta
Gotta.
do the cool eye visor shot.
it's such a cool shot in the comic book. I love it. Like it's the only time because they never make any faces. It's always the
Yeah,
same face.
exactly. It's like it's out of necessity for the most part because you need some human face for readers to
Mhm.
connect to because that's the same reason like Mandalorian's always going to take his helmet off at least one time, even though it's against the creed, because you need to like see the human to human
Mhm.
contact. But in comics, you have the benefit of cheating a little bit and doing cool visual tricks, and I think it works really well.
All right, so we are at the end of the Power Ranger show, the Power Ranger trio that we just had right here. You know, we're the Red Ranger, the White Ranger, and the Green Ranger. We're all badass.
Hmm.
We can fight over who wants to be who later.
I'll take whichever color. It's
Yeah,
fine. I'm
I'm
not
I'm too
picky.
tired to fight
Just
at this
happy to be
moment.
included. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care.
So I will give you guys the moment. So Joey, I'll start with you. Is there
Sure.
anything you want to plug? Any books you got coming out? Because you do have a book July 1st coming out.
I do. So the same day
Actually, you
that
have
Power
two.
Rangers Unlimited #1 comes out, I have a book called Killer Influences that is coming out from IDW Publishing. It's one of their launch titles for their crime line. I keep telling people to read that one first because it's about a serial killer and a true crime influencer who team up. Super dark true crime satire. But then you follow it up with Power Rangers Unlimited as like a really sweet palate cleanser. It's great, great new comic book day. Can't go wrong. So those both come out on July 1st, and I hope you'll check them out.
I'm actually pulling both of those books.
Thank you
So,
so much.
and I would have bought, one of your Superman books, Kenny, but the LCS was already sold out. So,
Too popular. Yeah, right now the things that I plug are like you said, I have a new Superman Elseworlds book that's on the shelves now. I think by the time this comes out, we'll be on issue 3. in July. That's called Superman Father of Tomorrow. I'm doing that with Danny Earls. That's a what if Jor-El was the only one who survived Krypton and becomes more of like a science hero Superman, so kind of like a Reed Richards sort of Tom Strong, Doc Savage version, and how he tries to make the world better, both as Superman and as a scientist, and how the world pushes back. So it's a big, crazy like sci-fi take on it. And we got a lot of great response in issue one. All I can say is like you guys are not prepared for how weird it's gonna get in a couple issues of this of the ripple effects of him being a science superhero. I also, aside from this, in July, I have a new creator-owned book coming out through IDW Dark called Operation Iron Coffin. And that's a horror action book about the British dropping Dracula like a bomb on the Nazis in World War II, and him filling a Faustian bargain with an entity to rid the world of vampires, but not realizing that he paid a horrible price in coming back. So that's for fans of like Castlevania and Metal Gear, based on some really
Fucking
fun like
rips.
mythology. Thank you, Joey.
I have a question. How in the hell do you come up with that idea? It's
Um,
badass, but like, where did that idea come from?
it came from it came from a couple places. One, my love of just the novel Dracula, in World War II and pulp stories. Also, my friend read this really bad military book that he told me about, where at the end the military is like losing. There's an alien invasion, and they're in the like the last 10 pages. They're gonna lose, and the Earth's gonna be gone. And then all the alien ships crash, and then it's revealed that Dracula stopped them. And he was not apparently mentioned at all in the novel beforehand. And I was like, that's ridiculous. I was
Wow.
like, I could do a better Dracula story than that. And then I was like, wait a minute, I could do a better Dracula story than that. So it essentially sparked my. I started thinking of Dracula again because my friend told me about that book. But I've always been a fan of the novel, and I love World War II pulp stories. Like Hellboy is one of my favorite comic books ever. And I've always been a fan of every interpretation of Dracula, and the book is very heavily inspired by like Vampire Hunter D, and some of the fun like Grindhouse type movies. Like it's Tyrell Cannon who draws it. It is insanely violent, like to the point where I think some jaws are gonna drop when people read it. But it's also a very heartfelt story about like what's the difference between a classic movie monster or just pop culture monster like Dracula and the horrible actual type of monsters that we dealt with in World War II. So that's kind of where the genesis of it came from, of like a bunch of loves and passions of mine.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
That's
You
great.
sold me. Like that was a hell of a pitch
Thank you, man.
because that is like one hell of a crazy idea, and it just sounds like so much fun. So now, Joey, now you're doing killer influences.
Hmm.
I love me a good serial killer story.
Hmm.
Now, what was your idea behind that? Like, do you watch the, like, what is that, the ID channel and stuff? I mean, we watch that stuff in my house all the time.
Yeah. So like, I am a big true crime person. I have a big, in fact, here, I'll show you my big stack of books
Whoa.
that
Damn.
were like part of research for killer influences and stuff. But what this book is about specifically is the dynamic of like true crime influencers who are speculating about suspects or poring over grisly crime scene details rather than centering the victims or you know being ethical and responsible in their reporting. They're just in it for the clicks, the likes, the following, and that sort of thing. So this book is about a person who is stuck in a dead end town who desperately wants to be a successful true crime podcaster, influencer, writer, who is the only one who sort of like gets onto the trail of this local serial killer. And instead of doing the right thing and turning him in or presenting the evidence that would get him convicted, she decides to team up with him to build up his lore so that he can become infamous like he wants. She can build her channel and make some money, and hopefully they get her out of her hometown. Um, so it's really really dark, but also darkly funny and satirical. If you like things like American Psycho, I think this might
Oh,
be up your alley.
I have seen that movie.
There you
I do
go. So
have
it's, it's a commentary on influencer culture, on the nature of true crime and how exploitative it can be when it's not bound by ethical journalism. So yeah, it's just like like Kenny said, it's a confluence of interests that sort of found an outlet in this project that was presented to me by IDW.
And I
All
love
right,
it.
well,
So
I'm sold on
Thank
both
you.
ideas.
Thanks,
So,
man.
yeah, I'm game. LCS, they're gonna be my pool box is gonna be huge.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be a good summer for everyone.
Yeah, I love it. So, all right, with that, I am going to hit the outro. So, with the outro, we have sponsors, and I gotta find the page because I accidentally closed the thing. So with that, I want to thank everybody for listening. And if you listen to us live on the radio, we play Thursdays and Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. We are on Outworld Fleet Radio. Great people. They're so good to me. They let me do this. They let me cuss. I try to cut down the F word, but we still say shit every once in a while. And then I have great people from Hailstorm Vintage. My buddy and his wife own this great little vintage shop. I think they have 2 locations now, and they have one hell of a wall of comic books. And we're talking about Golden Age, Bronze Age, Silver Age, ASM 1. If you mention that you heard this on the radio and you say Thompson's Comic Corner, you get 10% off of whatever you buy in the store. So if you buy ASM #1, you're getting 10% off. You can, give a little bit of that back this way because I helped you, but you have the opportunity. And then also, we are sponsored by Dubby Energy. I live off caffeine and hate and rage, and theirs is sugar free and it's so good. And they have great flavors and they have really cool shaker bottles. So if you use the code TCC 2025, you get 10% off. That's it. That's my shameless plug. So with
Can you
that,
tell me where this vintage store is? Because I want 10% off of ASN #1.
it is in
That's a not
Dayton,
insignificant chunk of
Ohio.
in Ohio. Okay.
Yep, Dayton,
Next time,
Ohio. They
next time
are
I'm in Dayton,
actually,
Ohio.
I think it's a little south. I forget like the actual town, but it's the greater Dayton, Ohio area. You put it in, you'll find it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, 10% off anything. And I made sure it was anything. So I'm telling you, you go get ASM 1, 10% off. You can thank me later.
That's like $100,000 discount.
That's a lot. It's a lot of money. So I want to thank you guys, for entertaining me and the listeners. I'm saying the viewers. They ain't gonna see this. So with
Absolutely.
that,
Thank you for having us.
yeah, with that, I want to say thank you guys and everybody have a great day and peace out, Cub Scouts.